Hello everyone, my name is Devonte and welcome to my channel. Uh um Happy New Year's Eve as of recording this video. Um so there 2025 has been an interesting year for me, at least. So a lot has happened to me within this year that kind of left me in a state of like retrospection, because within these past 2 weeks I've just been like thinking a lot, like a lot about how this year has been, and it really came to a head this past few days before the coming of today. um it really was just me thinking about how much I've done within this year. Like, I don't really recall a lot of the stuff that I've done within like the first few months of the year, but I do remember a lot of interesting stuff that did happen, like like a lot of personal stuff that happened to me that I won't get into. Um, but it really was like came to a head when it was my birthday, usually, which is in June. So, and after my birthday, everything was like, at first within the beginning of the year, it was more like this, but then when I hit my birthday, it went like this, and then just like, okay, we're going up and up and up, and then now we're at this point of the new year where another plateau was gonna rise. And I've come to realize that that always happens when it comes to like as each year passes. What I'm gonna try to do is try to reflect on that up and up, what happened within that second half of the year after my birthday. After my birthday, a lot of things happened. Well, before even that, there was a thing that happened when I was hanging out with my friends. I used to, if you guys don't know, uh I used to vape back in like 2024, and I decided that within 2025 I was going to stop that. And within I was like, okay, it was really adamant, like, I don't want to vape anymore. I'm going to stop vaping by the end of like mid-January. And then I stuck with that. It was like, okay, I want to try to do this and just stick with it. The process of doing that was very difficult. I have things to try to compensate for it now. I be munching on a lot of candy on and stuff, especially fireballs. Oh my god, fireballs really just help with the like the it like the I gotta get something in my system thing was kind of helping. And on top of that, work was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to manage all this stuff and also work and the stress of work and everything else. Really contemplating of like, why am I doing all this stuff? And I have to like come to terms with, okay, I'm just doing it because I need to have some money so I can do the stuff I need to do. I need money so I can make sure that I can provide for my household and everything else. And that's usually like the basic stuff that I actually went through within the whole time. But when I kind of like was okay with everything, I was like, okay, what else that I can do? Like, what else would I want to do? And by June-ish, July, I wanted to, like, okay, I feel like I'm okay. I'm in a state of like, okay, everything's kind of settled down from all that stuff, where everything's going on personally and everything that's going on in my head. Let me go back to streaming. And I did go back to streaming. I streamed at a appropriate amount of time that was suitable for me, 3 days a week. For try to do it every week, and usually it be bounce between either during the weekdays or the weekends, depending on how my energy. I kept really was like, this year I really like kept track of how I was feeling, like mentally and emotionally, and like my energy levels of everything, and I was good. I'm wanted to really focus on myself this year, comparable to how I did in previous years, what I basically put others above myself. And I'm really glad that I actually kept on with that. I kept going. I was really happy about that. Um, though there are some times where I have to put others above myself sometimes, and I understand that. But for the time being, I mainly focus on what I want to do. My focus on more myself than others. I put myself over others within reason, and the reason is like sometimes you can't really like, oh, you have this important thing that you need other people to help you with. No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna focus on my own thing. No, I was really like, I'm gonna help. I was actually being like useful to others, but still have enough time and energy to do stuff for myself. And I was really happy I had that sort of like what's the word, stasis of it. Like I was able to be like, okay, I'm okay with this, I'm not putting out too much, I'm not really like doing too much, and I was happy about that. Then so I streamed for myself for 3 days for 3 days a week, best way I can. I played multiple different games. I was happy about the streaming. I was happy with streaming certain games. This year I played a few games. I played Fury, which was recommended. Most of the games that I've been playing on stream was recommended from a friend, my online friend. Uh, Played Fury. Well, I actually got to pull up because what's cool about it is that I was like learning all the stuff, and I was like, let me actually put everything in a folder because I was able to stream and also save the VODs at the same time. And I was really happy about that I did that. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, okay. So was it this year? I think this year I played like I'm gonna get to that point, but it's like there's multiple games that I played. I played Deltarune. I replayed Deltarune. I'm actually caught up with Deltarune. I was really wanting to play Deltarune. Played Helldivers. I played Dragon's Dogma. I played Hollow Knight Silksong. I love Hollow Knight Silksong. I'm gonna get to that, but oh yeah. I played Signalis. I played Outer Wilds. I played Uma Musume, which even though it's came recently, but I'm like, okay, I'm slightly addicted to the game. I played 12 minutes. I played a lot of different games this year, and I was happy about it. And even played some games on my own time without streaming. I played Exposition 33. I played Dredge. I played um I'm caught up with Zenless. That's my own personal thing. Well, played a few games. I played it like a few games that's on my own time. And it was just like I was able to really like, okay, I'm taking care, I'm doing my own thing. I'm happy about that. But there was a few things that really was like interesting to like, but yet I can actually go to my channel and check something because I remember like this year was the year that Twitch streamers, like Twitch had that whole weird thing of deleting VODs because of the lack of space that they had on their servers. So they was getting rid of VODs and everything else. Yeah, that's what it was. So I played Outer Wilds at the beginning of this year. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was the beginning of this year. Holy shit. I thought it was like last year, but no, it was the beginning of this year. So the reason I was mentioning Outer Wilds, like I've there were some like there is a very very small list where I put certain games that I have played in my life and on a pedestal. Like this is by far my favorite and perfect game, and no one can tell me otherwise. That this game really like changed my life or changed my way of thinking about things. And some games are to me are untouchable. The nostalgia factor will always be there, and one of those games is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which if you guys don't know about me, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was the very reason why I went to school for creative writing. Weird thing, but I just liked the game. It was very weird being so used to playing with the main line of Pokemon games, and then out of nowhere getting introduced to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. You can play as a Pokemon and discover an actual cohesive story. And I fell in love with Mystery Dungeon series is to this day. Sometimes even playing through the game again makes me want to fucking cry, and it's just like, holy shit, this is amazing. But that Mystery Dungeon is one game. Bloodborne is another. Even though I Bloodborne is another. Bloodborne is like a really amazing game. Lies of P is a very amazing game. I played that last year. But there's one game that was like this year really changed my way of thinking of how to see the world or see life. And that game was Outer Wilds. And it I so my initial idea was to post all the streams that I have Outer Wilds and upload it to the channel. But then I was thinking like that's like 25 hours, 30 hours of footage that no one's going to watch. So I wanted to make, and I'm still in the process of wanting to make a long play video of Outer Wilds, when I played through Outer Wilds. But there's just so much that I went through within Outer Wilds that made me wonder, made me think of everything. But then, and then when I get to the ending and how when I finish the game, it made me appreciate the things that we have like right now at this moment. It made me really think about like this is life, and I don't want to take advantage of that. Everyone that we have right now, everyone that we meet, everyone that we affect, it all matters at this moment. But then it doesn't matter at this moment, because at the end of the day, life goes on. But I wanted to appreciate like everything that I've gone through in life. And usually this is just for me playing through the game. Like the whole puzzle aspect, and then me realizing a lot of the stuff and me getting to the ending and playing through the DLC. It's just like everything matters. At one point in time, it mattered. People's lives matter, or events that happened in your life matter to you, and you internalize that to, and you internalize it, and you do things in life that feels right with you, and you call that in. I take every memory that I have of those that have been in my life and are no longer in my life as precious, and it fuels me to keep going. Why? I don't know. That's just how I am. And then the next one other game that really made me think about like life, which surprised the hell out of me, and I can't stress this enough. I want to thank my friend for recommending me this game, because this game I did not expect this game to impact me so much. And that was Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk really made me be in a state of uncertainty multiple times while playing through the game. It took me, I think it took me 45 to 50 hours to finish Cyberpunk, because I was always going back and retrying, and also or going back to play through different endings and everything else, and something that feels right, feels like the right ending for me. But I remembered, and I think I have a Twitch clip that really describes my experience with Cyberpunk. The end. And it does not, it can be like, oh, I'm having a good time one moment, and the next moment you get fucked up. You're in your feelings. One moment you are trying to piece together a huge ass puzzle of trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and then the next moment you're witnessing someone that you care about for the longest time within a game pass away, and you can't do nothing about it. You can only do what you can, because that's how real it is. You question every choice you make. You question every choice that you make, and you have the hope that the choices that you made is the right choice. And even if it isn't the right choice, it is the choice that you have to live with to the remainder of your life. Cyberpunk is about humanity and how you live your life. That's just how the world of Cyberpunk is. And you experience all that stuff, and you just have to take it as is. You have to. But even so, you still have to trudge on and keep going because that's just how life is. You Sometimes life will throw something at you and you can't say nothing about it. You just have to accept it. People can fight against that acceptance, but at the end of the day, it happened. It's happened, and nothing is set in stone in the future. It happened, it had happened, and all you got to do is just keep going. You just have to keep going in life. And that's just how life worked in Cyberpunk. And when I was like playing through the game and experiencing that game as I was playing through it, it really came to a head at the very end of the multiple different endings of like, you're now at the climax of the story, and now you're like at this point in time of heck, even then, like what what are you gonna do? What choice would you make that you are okay with? And as soon as you make that choice, you have to live with that choice. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts because that's the life that you chose. You have to just keep like you have to just accept it as is because you made that choice. And you don't know the ramifications of the choice that you made, but that's just how life is. That's what Cyberpunk showed me, and it's crazy to think about. And it really made me think like, what after playing through that game, like weeks after, months after, even now, I always look back on like, did I make the choices that I made in the past? Were they the right choice? And you can try to like, I could try to like rethink of everything and analyze everything. But then in the past, I used to be like, no, it could have been different if I did this and did this, or I could have did this, or I could have this and did this. But then now, I accept it. I'm like, yeah, I did this. I accept it. I made that choice, and now I gotta live. I'm the byproduct of that choice that I made back then, and I'm okay with this. People could disagree or go against what I made that choice, but I'm like, that's not your life, that's mine. You can say this, I could have done this, but I made the choice. You could have done something differently, and that's fine. That's what you believe. That's what you wanted to do. Yeah, that if it's at that point in time. But you don't know all the previous choices that I made. You only know about this one choice that I made, and you could have, from your experience, you could have done something differently. And I was okay and that was something that really like was mind-blowing to me while playing through this game, playing through Cyberpunk. And I don't want to make this into a video game review because I have many things to say about many of the games that I've played or will be playing in the future because I had ideas of writing to a game review channel, and I didn't have the confidence to write a script and record a video or be as accurate as I can be with how I can be able to review said game or medium that I wanted to review. So all I can say is just that's just me. And though the plan maybe it'll come about. I don't know. We'll see how it is within 2026. We don't know. But it was a lot for me to think about. And ever since then playing Cyberpunk, I really focused on what do I want? What type of life do I wish to live? And I don't want to live with a life with any regrets. But at the same time, regrets will always be there. You can't live a life with no regrets. That's impossible in my eyes. So regret will always be there. You can always look back and say, damn, I should have did this, or damn, this should happen. But you can't go back in the past and change it. You just got to accept it. And now, at this point, as the me as I am right now at on December 31st, 2025, I'm okay with the choices that I've made. And I'm don't know how I'm gonna feel about the choices that I will make. And looking back on this year, it was a lot of At first, in the beginning, it was more like there were progresses, but there was also stagnation, and then more progress and stagnation with certain goals that I had wanted to accomplish and have not accomplished this year, or I failed to do within this year. And I feel like now I'm okay with that. I'm in a state of acceptance of who I am, because I'm me. I'm Devonte. I'm devotion. It's whatever. Um, so to think everything through of everything that happened, a lot of the stuff that happened to me was more personal, and I will get to. I'm gonna say one thing that really was like very massive for me to admit, but the ramifications afterwards were pretty bad, in my opinion. But it was something that I had to accept for myself because for years, and I don't know if I'll add this into the video, but for years, I so basically my worldview changed, and because I was expressing my worldview to others, they tend to distance themselves with me, and I was hurt. I felt like it was bullshit for not accepting who I am, but that's okay. They made their choice, and we just have to live with that choice. But I did not want to close myself off to what I believe in anymore. I wanted to focus on myself and what I view as what I deemed is the correct thing to believe in. And though expressing that to others, there was a disagreement. And because of that disagreement, they don't want any involvement with me anymore. And I have to be okay with that. And it's tough, really is, especially if it's someone that's really that you're really close with. That's all I can really say, but without getting into detail about it. But yeah. So, what I want to do for next year, that's what I want you to look into. For next year, I want to do more. I want to do more things. And I say that to myself all the time, but really, there's always been this. I've always realized about myself that I take small steps forward, right? Where some people see my small steps as like they're small steps, but to me, they're like big changes or big steps towards something that I want to try to do. But I want to take more, I want to do more this year, next year. I want to do more things next year. And I don't want to limit myself of what I'm capable of. Like, take for example, my writing. I want to make more, write more stories, more short stories. Probably write a book. Probably see if I can try to write a book within a year. We will never know. Get it published. We will never know. As long as if I dedicate myself to try to do it, I want to get that started. Maybe I want to do a comic or a manga or anything else. I don't know. I want to do that. Heck, even right now, even over the past few months, I've been like critiquing my art. I'm just getting better with my art. That's just me. I want to get better at that. Don't know. That's gonna happen. We'll see. As long as I'm being like constantly on top of things, then I feel like I can do it. Do more streaming and do more YouTube content as well, because I really, really miss recording videos and streaming. Even though I have been streaming more often this year, which I'm really happy about, I want to stream more often. Like probably instead of 3 days or having like this weird period of no streaming and then come back to streaming again. I want to be more consistent and more like instead of focusing on like what motivates me, it's more like discipline. Really have to discipline myself to stream at this time or stream whenever I can, regardless if I'm feeling tired. Even though I know my family is saying like don't push yourself too much, but in all honesty, I have to. I want to. I want to push myself because I know I want to see what I am capable of doing. The only way that I'm able to stop is if I die. That's literally how I think. And that's literally how I think. I want to keep going. I want to push myself to the point where I feel like I can't do it anymore. Because I want to create amazing things. I just don't know how. I want to learn how. I want to learn how to create more things and then publish it to the masses. And I feel like I'm capable of doing that. I just want to sit down and just create. And I feel like this year, 2025, I found the first few steps of that. And I want to keep going on that route of just creating things. I want to stream more often. I want to create more YouTube videos and write more, draw more, improve my skills in some way, shape or form. Possibly if I am bigger, if I try to get bigger followers or subscribers or anything else, do more collabs, connect with more people, like interact with them more. I want to do all these things. I want to. I feel like I want to break out of the shell that I have and be out there, be more open with others, be more open with people. I want to do that. Because for a while now this year, I felt like I was more closed offish than I have. I wasn't being who I am. I was being a mask. I was hiding away a lot. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be more open and honest. And that's what I want to do. Be more open and honest with you guys. Hell, if you look back, oh my gosh, on this channel, if you look back to the last time I actually posted a vlog, that was years ago. Years ago. I want to do that more often. Just have my thoughts out there. Just talk to you guys of what I've been going through, what I've been feeling, and be more open with you guys. I'm 28 years old. I've been making content on this channel for almost 10 years. It will be 10 years next year in April. I feel like I want to do more. I want to do more. So many things. I want to be able to at least do something that like, oh, at least I did this. Check this off the list. And then like, oh, maybe even though I did this, it's interesting still. Let me just keep going with it. I want to keep doing that. I want to just I want to do more things. I feel that passion is there. And I realized that when I was streaming these games, of like the passion is there. It's like there. It's not just a faint flicker anymore. It's there. And I think I realize now that I realize like that passion is there, it's because that's just who I am. That's just who I am. I'm a very passionate person. Passion fuels me to keep going. And if anything that's passionate about it, I make sure just, okay, you know what? I am dead set to make this happen. Because in the past, I was so hesitant because I didn't know what I really truly want. But now I feel like I'm now dead set at what I want. I'm willing to make sure to make that happen in any way, shape, or form. I will try my best to make that happen. And then at the end of the day, if I'm satisfied with it, then I'm satisfied with it. And then if not, then I'll just keep going until I'm satisfied. I think that's what happened when I was playing through Silksong. Because Silksong really did open my eyes. Like, yeah, this is how I'm wired. This is how I'm wired. This is who I am. I don't care about if the game was hard. Yes, it was hard. The game was both. The Hollow Knight, the first game was always hard, but Silksong was a little bit harder, and I kept going with it. Because I knew that even though I struggle, what matters is I still pick up the controller, got back up, and kept going until I won, until I got to the end, and I did. A lot of these games that I've been playing, I basically was like, okay, you know what? Let me brush myself off. I lost a lot of shit. Maybe, and just get back up. Maybe it's because I grew up boxing. I grew up knowing how to box, and my stepfather at the time taught me to, even though you get knocked down, you always have to get back up and push through. And I always had that mentality. Because there are times where I get knocked down and don't do nothing and just keep going. But as long as I get back up and just keep, I just keep and get back up and realize that like, oh, revitalization, that's me just getting back up and getting back to what things that I need to do. I think that's okay. That's just how I am. That's just how I'm wired. That's just how I take things. And I'm happy about that. I always just, and also, I don't know if I'm gonna do this in post, but there's one of the things that kind of helped me like realize this mindset was back in, I wrote this in my phone. I'm gonna start my phone. I wrote this on my phone, and on iPhone users, there's a journal app, and there was something that really was like interesting. So back in June 23rd of this year, actually no, there are two photos that I found on the internet that really was like eye-opening for me. The first one, well, they're both referred to the same thing, but the first one, the original one, was this one. I'm gonna show it on screen, and then the other one was this one. Both are referred to the same thing. And if you look at the photos, it all has that same image, that same weird thing, that blue dot on the screen. And please remember to put this in post. There's a blue dot on the screen, these photos. That is the pale blue dot, the famous pale blue dot. Those blue dots is Earth. The first one, the original one, was took a picture from the famous Voyager 1 before it left our solar system. That was the last photo that it took before it left our solar system. Then the other one was the most recent one that was flying close to Saturn, and it's the same thing as Earth, the pale blue dot. And I'm going to read you what I wrote in my journal at that time of me realizing this. A pale blue dot, that's here, that's me, that's home. Every time I look at anything about space, I'm reminded how little everything matters in this world. Every moment, every struggle, every life, every death. It matters so little to the grand scheme of things that God has created, but at the same time, it matters so much to us on this earth. We battle for what is truth. We put our faith into what is truth. We die for what is truth. Why? Because it's what we believe in. All this doesn't matter in a fraction of a pixel on our dot, but it is what is true to us and what it seems to be true to the world we reign. And I feel like that's enough for today. And this was somewhat like a version of my writing, how I did instead of what the late Carl Sagan wrote about it back in 1997. I might be wrong. I think in 1997 that he wrote it. But yeah, it was somewhat the same thing. It made me realize a lot of things. Like, even though in the grand scheme of things, all this stuff doesn't matter, but it matters to us at this moment. And I'm appreciating everything that is going on. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful, happy new year. And I hope that this next year you stay true to yourself and you believe what is true. Okay? Anyway, take care. Love you later.
There are now 4 spacecraft which are beyond the orbit of Neptune and Pluto, Pioneers 10 and 11, Voyagers 1 and 2, 4 vehicles of our species plummeting into the interstellar dark. Now, of all those worlds, we have no indication of life. For me, that underscores the rarity and preciousness of the Earth and the life upon it. And you can see it looks like more than a dot, but it is in fact less than a pixel. You can see that it is slightly blue, and this is where we live, on a blue dot. On that blue dot, that's where everyone you know and everyone you ever heard of and every human being who ever lived out their lives. It's a very small stage in a great cosmic arena. Just speaking for myself, I think this perspective underscores our responsibility to preserve and cherish that blue dot, the only home we have.